As promised, here is part 2 of my review of House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. And then came one of the biggest surprises in the whole novel, which was when we find out that Hunt was on the barge buying synth because originally he wanted to have a leg up against the Archangels and be able to perhaps have another rebellion, but this time with a little bit of an edge. But when he pulled that hood off, I was like, what? It was the one point in the book I had to just put the book down. I was like, no, this cannot be right. Like, he cares about Bryce. There's no way that he would do this and jeopardize their relationship. And then we learn more about why he did it and that he actually didn't want to do it, but he had to go along with it because at that point he needed to protect his friends and he was trying to convince them not to do it and all of that other stuff. But the fact that Bryce, even though she was pissed at him, so mad, so upset, she still shows up with Sandriel, this like terrible lady who could probably kill her in half a thought, just shows up and barters for his freedom with this $97 million debt that she took from Jessica. So she put herself in even more debt in this job that she hates. So she has to continue working for Jessica even though she doesn't like it. She's been trying to apply for other jobs. Shows up and she's like, yeah, more debt. Give me more debt. I will save Hunt with more debt that I take from you. Oh, and also the priceless amulet that I have that's one of 6 in the world. Yeah, take this too. Even though it's like the only thing that can protect me from a lot of different things. Here you go, just take it. I need Hunt tradesies. I was like, is Sandriel gonna take this? Probably not, because she's a heartless bitch. And then she didn't take it, and I was like, well, I can't say I'm that surprised, but it still broke my heart. And then she tries trading herself in his place. But could you imagine how horrible it would be for Hunt to have to see her like go and suffer and all of this stuff? It'd probably be a worse punishment than making him suffer. So there was that. But then Rune pulled the whole like, no. My dad and me as the Fae say you cannot take her because she is part of our realm and you can't take her. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, probably a good thing, but then she was all mad at Rune for a while. It was shocking. And then we go to the summit, and Hunt goes to the summit with Sandriel and her Triari, which sound like a bunch of jerks. I don't like them at all. But did we expect to like them? No, not really. And I thought it was super interesting to see the power plays and who was in charge. And then we get this other plot twist that just gets thrown at us, where we find out that Micah had gone to the antiquities shop where Bryce works and was going to basically kill her to get the horn, which is the other thing that we find out, is that Bryce has the horn in the tattoo on her back. So she essentially is the horn. And then we find out that she has the starlight power, so she is the only one who can use the horn, and she is the horn, so she's just this ultimate, like, powerful being that Micah wants to use to open these evil realms and let in a bunch of demons to kill everyone. Bryce and Lahaba and Syrinx are there. Bryce is trying to, save time and give people time to reach her and help her out, and also to get as much information out of Micah as she possibly can. But then he finally attacks her and injects her with the synth stuff. Then she has to rescue Syrinx, who ends up in the tank with that crazy knock creature thing that probably would have killed Syrinx. And Bryce is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go get Syrinx, and shows that she's just like such a good Syrinx mama. Lahaba sacrifices herself so Bryce can get away or get those extra few seconds. And it was like 10 times more sad because Bryce told her right before she chose to sacrifice herself that she was free, that Bryce had paid for her freedom and she could just go on and do whatever she wanted now. And she still chose to save Bryce. It broke my heart. Okay, we're just gonna read this line because it was just very sad. It says, Bryce glanced back just once to the friend who had stayed by her when no one else had, who had refused to be anything but cheerful, even in the face of the darkness that had swallowed Bryce whole. Literally Literally, Lahava was that friend Bryce had through all of the struggles, and she didn't even realize it until that moment. So sad. It made my heart sad. And then, okay, Bryce kills Micah. She goes and gets that rifle, the big scary one that can kill a lot of things. Goes and gets it, and just bam, Micah's dead. And then she burns him, and if that's not enough, she vacuums him up. It was so funny because he's this all-powerful archangel and she's just casually vacuuming him up after he dies. I thought it was pretty amazing. And after that, she just drops Shrinkstaff at home and then just runs into the chaos that is now her city, where everything is just burning and people are being killed, and she just runs out and starts protecting people and goes, of course, to the area where the people are most at risk and the people have no defenses, just goes there, and then Ethan and the rest of the pack, when they find out there are children in the square, all go and help her, defying Sabine's orders. Also, she's horrible. I hate her. So they go, and then Ethan and Bryce are fighting side by side, and I'm just living for it because it sounds like their relationship is finally beginning to mend a little bit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yay. Like, he's forgiven her. This is getting better. They might still be on tentative grounds a little bit, but something good is happening. And then they start closing all the doors to the shelters, and they both can't get through, so she shoves Ethan into the shelter and sacrifices herself, basically, just decides, I'm gonna stay out here with all the crazy people, you're gonna go to safety. She closes the one gate with her magical starborn powers, and then Queen Hypaxia, the healer lady, who is awesome and I love her, dissolves Hunt's tattoo and his little deal with now Sandriel, since he got sold to Sandriel, and he kills her, which was amazing because no one likes her. And then they finally decide to take the helicopter and go get to Bryce, and Hunt just decides to shield her with his body when the bomb goes off so she doesn't die, but Hunt's laying on the ground dying, and she's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? This guy who I love is laying on the ground and bleeding and dying, and there's no way I can save him, and this is horrible. And then she decides, well, I'm just gonna make the drop with Danica as my anchor, who's dead, so she can't get me back up again. But she just drops down, she gets to have her little communication with Danica. Literally, Hunt's love brings her back up to the surface, basically, which just brings that through love all is possible quote from the rest of the novel full circle, and it's so beautiful. And in the process, she saves the whole city, closes all the gates, and heals her mans, so I'd say it's a win for everyone. And we learn she has more power than her dad, the Autumn King, which is just and she also is Starborn, so she's just very powerful, which is really interesting because the rest of the book she's just seen as this weak human, and then all of a sudden she gets this huge burst of power, and she's just this awesome, well, she was kind of a badass the whole time, but now she has all of this extra power. Okay, so we're gonna read the quote of Hunt bringing her back up. I just thought it was so cute because when he was laying there dead, she was saying all this stuff and, oh, I love you, don't die. And then when Hunt wakes up and he's trying to save her and bring her back up from the drop, he says, I heard what you said, what you waited to admit until I was almost dead, you fucking coward. Now come say it to my face. He's literally giving her chest compressions and trying to keep her alive and just yelling at her in this sassy way that they just have. And then she wakes up and she's in his arms and it's so cute. And then we just kind of get a little, oh good, things are back to normal, things are okay. For the most part, of course, lots is still going to happen because there's more books in the series, so of course more has to happen. But we get a little bit of peace. We find out that her and Rune are kind of back to normal, and he's like, well, I want you to be my sister again, I want us to be close again, if you'll have me. Oh, and we learn that he can speak into people's heads, so that's something interesting that we learn. We get to see the mending of their sibling relationship, and then Hunt has to go help Isaiah, bring everything back to normal, which is fun, I'm sure, for both of them. Then there's that Ridulus guy, I also don't know how to pronounce his name, but the bright hand of the Asteri. So he's one of the high Asteri people. Anyway, he basically threatens her and basically says that they're gonna kill her if she ever like uses the horn and ever uses her starlight for anything besides party tricks, essentially. And then the last line of the epilogue, in case you weren't already excited for the next book, Sarah just had to end the book on a line saying, when Jessica says, "Don't fuck us over this time, Idis," he has to respond, "I do not plan to, not when things are about to get so interesting." So, obviously things are going to get interesting. I can't wait. I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm very excited. I think it's coming out until either the end of 2021 or 2022, so it's going to be a while. But either way, I'm very excited. I cannot wait. I will probably end up rereading it, but in case I don't, I have this video to look back on. Okay, please like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment below what your favorite parts of this book are, or if you want to talk about it in any way, I will answer all comments and we can talk about this book in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!